The Green Dudes podcast stream. About to jump into the episode proper. Hello and welcome to paradise. You are listening to Green Dudes, the only Green Day podcast that matters. You are here, as always, with your host, Connor Mack. That is me. I am here with my co-host, but also my best pal in the Green Day verse, Green Day comrade in arms, BFFFFFFFFFL, and my dude wife for life, Mr. Connor Kelly. Connor, how the flippin' heck are you today?
I am good, my friends. I can't contain my excitement. I have to tell you right off the bat, Connor, to that list of introductory accolades, you can add official co-investor to the Oakland Ballers baseball team.
Oh my god, that is incredible.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be on the board?
Um it feels like I made it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Feels like I've been waiting my whole life and I finally can step into the role I was always meant to fill.
Yeah, I feel like this is the way things are going, for a while. I think it's you finally found your purpose in life.
Yeah. Yeah. To have given a small amount of money to a minor league baseball team on
All the way
the
across the country.
on the opposite end of the fucking coast. Yeah, uh it's a good feeling, it's and
Yeah.
the fact that you and I, Connor, we can say that we are in business with the
Yeah.
lead singer of Green Day. It's just true.
It's incredible, and the amount of doors it will open for us, I think we don't even realize yet.
No.
We don't even know how incredible the opportunities that we will get from this are. So I'm just wait. We're just waiting now for things to happen. I'm sure we'll be flown out there soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when the first meeting is?
Um, I'm not sure if all the details are hammered out yet. I have access to the Oakland Ballers like co-investor Discord channel.
Oh, that's
Have
cool.
they have like a Discord like
So,
conversation happening there. Yeah.
have you seen Billy posting in there yet? Or
I haven't gone on yet. This
okay,
is
all right.
this is somewhat breaking news.
Yeah,
So
maybe we should do that now. Maybe you should open it up and if fire her up and read some of the posts.
you know what? Let me see if I can
Yeah.
figure that out while you
Are you in any other Discord channels other than the one that we use for
no, no,
podcasts
no,
and
no,
stuff?
no.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
use Discord for anything else. I think it's weird. It's
Yeah. It's a very Gen Z technology.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna
I
do?
I used it a lot during the pandemic, but not so much anymore.
Huh. Yeah. Um hmm. You used it a lot. What'd you who like you for I don't what groups were a part of during the pandemic?
Oh, I like a lot of groups. For like a lot of different podcasts that I listen to, and I don't like really participate because I'm a millennial, and millennials are we're lurkers. So I just I
Yeah.
would just read conversations happening, and then like for what else? Yeah, I'm in a Green Day one, a Green Day Discord.
Mhm.
Uh, but and I'm in a Doctor Who Discord. I'm in the Weezer chord. I'm reading right now the list of all the discords I have. Twin
You know,
Peaks.
You know what's funny to me? You say that millennials are lurkers, and I think that
Yeah, that's just
I
me.
get. Well, no, I mean I get where you're coming from. What I think is funny and particularly millennial about you as well is that so on the Discord lurker, right?
Yeah,
But you are an active poster on message boards,
yeah, that's true.
which is a very funny distinction, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, I think that's yeah, Discord and all those other platforms are that's kind of where the new generation post and do their thing. And I'm still, yeah, I'm still stuck on a handful of message boards that those are really the only places that I actively contribute. I don't even really post on Twitter or anything anymore. Barely. So yeah, that's you got me pegged. You pegged me. You pegged me.
Yeah. Yep. Which is another thing that millennials are into.
Is it?
I mean, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Right? I
guess
don't
so.
know.
Is that is pegging a millennial act?
Um, well, I think millennials played a strong part in like pioneering the modern wave of pegging, and I think Gen Z kind of ran with
Yeah.
it. That's
Okay, that
my
makes sense.
understanding.
I kind of I feel like the like young Gen X are kind of the peggers,
Yeah.
and the millennials kind of popularized like eating ass. You know, that's like our claim to
That's
fame.
true. No, that
You
is
know,
true, actually. That's a good
that's
point.
like we like really started talking about that a lot towards the
Yeah.
end. You know,
Yeah.
and towards the end of our reign.
Yeah, no, that
Um,
when we still really had our hands on the baton, it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
all ass eating all the time.
And it kind of makes sense that Gen Z would reject sex.
Yeah.
You know, after what the millennials and prior did. You know, just like uh, I don't agree with it, but it makes sense the
Yeah.
reactionary stance that they would take.
Right. I am not sure I'm gonna get a handle on this whole
Yeah, well, the problem is like it's a very easy thing if you have an invite to a Discord channel. It's a very easy thing to get in there, but
Yeah, yeah.
the problem is that it's you that's doing it.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the issue.
Right.
Because I feel like there was the other thing that you use Discord for is we used to have a D&D game for a
That's
very short
yeah.
amount of time.
That's correct.
We had a D&D game with friends. That stands for Dungeons and Dragons, folks, not Dookie and Dookie. You know. So we had a game, and I remember you had trouble getting into that as well. Like concept of
Well,
other Discord channels that was
so
challenging.
so here's what's funny. So I'm looking at the tiers because there's investment tiers, right? So the investment it's actually really funny the way it phrases it. Here's what it
Yeah.
says. It says that you have access to participate in an online and then in quotes owners forum and then in
Wow.
parentheses it says Discord group. But I don't think I received a specific invite link to
Huh.
be honest. Yeah, I think some of these things like maybe the wheels are still turning a little bit.
Okay. Well, keep an eye on it.
I
Maybe,
will. I will. It's fine. There's
you can update us when you get
I will.
the invite link or you find
I
it,
will.
stumble upon it somehow.
There's other things to talk about.
Stumble upon?
I do remember Stumble Upon.
Another
That is very
millennial thing.
millennial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's yeah, a
Yeah,
relic.
I had the what was it, like the Stumble Upon, it was like a toolbar that you
Yes, yes, like a
added
widget or something, toolbar, yeah.
to the top of your browser. Yeah, that was hilarious. And
Yeah.
like you'd be able to like share things that you found, right? Like I think
Yes.
that you could be like, "Oh, hey, I stumbled upon this or whatever," and you could like
Yeah,
send it
exactly, yeah.
and then like man,
That was a cool idea, but the internet just kinda moved on, you know?
yeah, it had its moment there,
Yeah.
but it feels like it wouldn't make sense, like, if you still had it. It would be like, "Why
I
are
don't think
you"
so. Yeah. I mean, not like a lot doesn't make sense like nothing really makes sense anymore.
Yeah. No,
So
a lot of things, even just like 10 years old or so, it's like they're destroyed. Like
yeah, yeah. I mean,
the
it's
world
almost
they
over.
occupied is gone. Yeah.
It's almost over. So we're at the end.
The end of history.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, uh, yeah. So Connor, you had today off.
I had today off. That's right. It's Eid.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Yeah, yeah. That's nice. You can enjoy you can benefit from you know a holiday that you don't celebrate.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's almost my, like, entire experience of, getting days off working in a
Yeah,
school. So, a whole bunch of days I don't personally care about, but I love that I don't have to go to work, which makes me care about them a lot in a way.
absolutely. That's why I mean obviously religious freedom and having work off on days you observe holidays for religious reasons or other like that. That's very important. I think
Yeah,
we need to prioritize
obviously.
that as a culture and as a society. But it's just like, it's really nice to have a day off and to just
Yes.
not have to do anything.
That's the thing that's most nice about it, you know?
Yeah,
Um, so that's great. That's wonderful.
and so
Yeah,
my impression of you today is like you're, like, sitting around twiddling your thumbs, like, "When is this guy gonna wake up? He's
right.
sleeping all fucking
I
day," I
I'm
said.
I'm sitting around and watching the phone, but no one's calling.
And yes, exactly. And, and, finally, I wake up at here's my story is I'm working overnight, so I'm sleeping during the day. I set my alarm for 3:30, ended up waking up at 4, so that's, like, kinda like, when I set my alarm for 4, I'll wake up at 5, so there's always, like, there's a little bit of a leeway that I give myself, Um,
Sure.
and, so, yeah, we originally wanted to do 4:30 or to do we started at 5, it's now 5:30, we're really and, we started having a
Why does
conversation
this have to,
we
it's
started
like,
having a well, here's the thing. I'm bringing it full circle here.
okay.
Because what I'm doing is I'm stretching this all out for the content algorithm.
Yeah. That's really funny to
You
you
know,
because and that's what this is the thing that you do. Whenever someone says anything, even remotely tangentially critical about you in any way, you have to hyper focus on one minor element of that and then recycle it over and over. That is Connor, I've known you for many years and
I just think.
I know exactly how you operate and I know how you act when things bother you. I'm sorry I got under your skin
Oh no, no, no,
by
no.
calling you an overthinker. And and for artificially uh like elongating our podcast discussion here because today should be the retrospective and yet it
Well,
isn't.
no, okay. So, and our listeners can attest to this because I'm pretty sure it's on. It might be on record. It might be on record. Maybe it's not, but I very clearly remember us having a conversation, and like I think you even said like, yeah, we'll do a few episodes between.
I don't know.
Uh, and this is so. This makes two, right? But the last episode
All by
was it all by
myself.
myself? It
It
was,
was.
okay, so this is really the first episode in between. Yeah, because I mentioned on the last episode, like, "Oh, there's things I wanna cover," like, I wanna do something for Woodstock, I wanna do and I mentioned I wanna do some an interview episode, from this era, that was, discussed previously. So jumping into the retrospective right away, the Dookie retrospective, that was not that was not the plan in
Okay.
my head. Maybe and we're not known for like our great communication and planning
No, well,
skills.
we're not, but the thing is like I'll text you. I'll send you a whole bunch of like texts and be like, hey, is this what we're going to be talking about? Is this what? And then you don't say anything for like
This is the night
days.
you texted me the night before.
And then I'm just kind of left to be like, what the fuck are we going to be doing? Like, I'm the only one trying to actually like figure this out.
That's not true.
So
No, that's not
I
true.
don't know,
It's all percolating in my brain, and I think part of the fun is like surprising you.
Yeah.
That's like part of the fun for
you
me.
gotta let me into some of the percolation. It's
That's kind of fun for then that would be less fun for me.
Yeah. See, this is how it goes.
And that's the most important part of this all. Because if like the host isn't having fun, then what's the point?
That's right. Shut it down. Shut down the whole operation.
So yeah, a little bit of cross wires here. It's okay.
It's all right. It's fine. Honestly, it's no big deal.
It's fine. It's
it
no
really
big
is
deal.
it really is no big deal. I don't want it to affect our friendship.
No.
I don't want to air our dirty laundry here out on the podcast.
Oh my God.
No.
I mean, and we're business partners, so it's like
that's right. I put your fucking name down on that
you did.
So
we have to maintain a level of professionalism.
That's right.
And
we don't have to like each other, Connor, but we do have to work together, okay?
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Yeah, so so when's the first board meeting again?
I'm gonna have to forward you all everything that's been given, and then you figure it out, and we'll maybe we'll do a whole episode just on what we now have access to as Oakland Ballers co-investors.
Yeah, we'll have maybe next week's episode will just be we'll just go through the Discord.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm sure they'd really like that.
It might be good to just like slow this all down,
Yeah.
just like I'm getting into really into slow podcasting.
Yeah.
Slow casting, if you will.
Yeah. Somewhere between like a standard podcast and ASMR content is kind of what we're shooting for right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I mean, in all honesty, today is kind of like it's it's good to give yourself a little bit of a break every now and then. For me personally, this last week has been very stressful. Just with work and stuff, and other it's just been juggling a lot with work and other things in my life. So it's good to break yourself off a piece of that Kit Kat bar every once in a while. So you might say today is like a phone it in kind of episode. That's what you might kind of say that.
And so that's what kind of bugs me about it, because it's like that's what I don't want to do. I'd rather just not put out an episode and just miss a week and be like, hey guys,
you're crazy.
We'll be back next week. Why who wants this?
No fucking way, Connor.
I'd like to, because so here we like you and I. We're kind of at two ends. We're kind of at odds here. If we could get any feedback on this, if there is any listenership input, please let us know. It wouldn't matter to Connor. He would still do whatever he wants because he's the podcast host, and why does it matter if he's not happy? But it would be pretty funny if well, if we did it anyways and people disagreed with you, that would be funny for me.
We can't rely on anecdotal evidence from one or two people. That doesn't really matter. The hard facts say, and I'm sorry, this is just the name of the game. This is podcasting, but we need having a weekly putting an episode out weekly is the most important thing,
right,
for the content algorithm. Uh, and it's also fun. It doesn't have to be the most informative or the most information packed or that's not. It's fun doing this, recording a bunch of bullshit with my best friend every week. It doesn't. We don't have to have major insight.
Best friend and business partner. You're right.
Best friend and business partner. We gotta add. I'm gonna add that to the list for from now on.
Yeah.
Introducing you.
Please do.
So that's where I'm coming from. A podcast. I mean, it can be casual. It can be all kinds of things, and I enjoy doing it regardless.
Totally.
But yeah. Sometimes, sometimes it's like, yeah, this could be kind of like a phone it in episode. It's fine,
Yeah, that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Even if we are phoning it in a little bit, we are doing something new. We are gonna be, kind of trying something out that we have discussed.
Yes,
this we definitely have discussed on the podcast.
We have discussed on the we have.
Well. And we're gonna give it a shot and give it its own episode. So let's see how that goes.
This is a grand experiment,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
If it fails dramatically, we'll only try it again a couple of times more, and then that'll be it. It's like 3 strikes and you're out.
Baseball.
Exactly. Kind of baseball.
Yeah.
Now we're baseball guys.
We're baseball guys.
We're baseball guys now.
I
mean, we own the team.
We do. It's
the
true.
Oakland Ballers. We own
true. You could just say it because it's true. We're not even fucking around.
So we'll probably be wearing baseball caps in the near future.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get like some gear.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll have to get some baseball gear. Maybe I'll dress up as an umpire.
Yeah,
that would be kind of fun.
That would be cool.
So yes, but first, before we get to the main part of this episode, I wanted to talk about the other things going on in the Green Day world. The big thing recently that happened, Connor, is we last month or two we've been getting all this news about this Green Day comedy movie that was ramping up and casting and and in the last week they put out a casting call for extras, and last week there was a big filming sesh where you could volunteer to be a fan in the audience at a Green Day show for the movie. And the movie is called New Year's Rev. And I think what they were filming was this final scene where they're at this Green Day show in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve. And so all kinds of fans got to go and participate and become extras in the movie. And it seemed like it was a lot of fun. I want to actually read the set list from that filming session.
Yeah,
if I can find it quickly. But first, what do you think of the name New Year's Rev? Because this is the name. The name of the fictional band, Connor, is New Year's Revolution.
Yeah,
that's the band that's like going to be opening for Green Day in the movie,
right? Which, I mean, it's a horrible band name and a really stupid movie title, but I think that there is kind of a trend here where it's going to be put, because when we went to go see Billy's other movie in which he starred,
directed by the same person, by the way,
it came out under the name of Geezer, and actually that movie title's not bad. I don't think
not as bad as New Year's Rev,
but it of course got changed to Ordinary World, and Billy used the song in that movie and all that, so it's like I can see why that happened. I suspect that the movie's going to come out as New Year's Rev, and just a few months after or something, they're gonna be like, "Fuck, we have to
Yeah,
change this fucking movie title because it sucks."
I think there's a very high possibility of that happening. Um, Now I don't know. I don't really hate the name. I don't think it's great, but the funny thing I wanted to bring up was that there's actually a band that was in the Connecticut punk scene, kind of. They were called New Year's Revolution, and I actually saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw them play with Dagwood, which is
Oh
another big
yeah,
Connecticut punk, like back like over a decade ago.
yeah,
Well, maybe closer to 15 years ago, actually.
yeah. You're really showing your cred right now.
Yeah, and but the funnier thing is that my band that I was in and am in and will be in again one day, maybe, Revolution Arcade. Uh, Obviously, we share the word revolution is in both band names. Um, my guitarist, my one of my best friends, Seth. His cousin, I think, was in that band, New Year's Revolution. So there's a little bit of a connection.
It is funny. And didn't the album that you put out as Revolution Arcade, isn't the first song something
Yeah,
like
yeah. New Year's Day in America. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So there's a little bit of I mean, that's all. That's a coincidence.
yeah.
I wrote that song totally separate from. I don't think I don't know if I even knew of that band at that point, but yeah, yeah. It's a bit of a funny funny little coincidence.
Yeah. And the thing is like, no offense, but all that being said, I stand by my take. I think it's a bad band name. So
Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't know
I
what to
don't
tell you. It's not a
disagree.
good band name. Like, I'm
I don't
sorry, but
disagree. I think they were a good band. I mean, I don't think I don't think they've been a band for a long time now. But yeah. So if you ever come back, guys, cause maybe consider changing the name. Changing it. Maybe you can change your name to
I,
Geezer.
if they did come back, they might get a cease and desist notice
Yeah, well, it
now.
probably would get cease and desist from Green Day Incorporated. And I mean, anyways, okay. So this, Connor, I think we talked a little bit about this last week, where we have been to Green Day at Good Morning America. We have heard them play songs a few times
That's right.
in a row for television. That was thrilling and cool to see that. But here at this set, this is like literally like a 12-hour filming day. So you're like with Green Day for like 12 hours while they're
Yeah.
on stage, like filming things over and over again. Because that's how you film movies. Like you just like one scene, Connor, will be like an entire day of filming, and it can be
Right.
like just minutes of
Right.
screen time, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so here's the set list. Okay, uh, know your enemy. Take one. Know your enemy. Take two. Know your enemy. Take three with false start, preceded by Mike's solo snippet of fuck time.
Great.
Know your enemy. Take four. Partial. Look Mono Brains, preceded by Mike's solo snippet of JAR and full band snippet of 500 miles cover.
Weird.
I take six. Yeah. Interesting. Then there's one, two, three, four different uh now then after that we have four takes of American Idiot. The last one preceded by Billy playing Ain't Talking About Love, Crazy Train, and Iron Man. Then we have an unrecorded set, so this is just a few songs for the audience. The band plays Revolution Radio, One Eyed Bastard, 2,000 Light Years Away, and Going to Pass L'Aqua.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Must have got him hyped up.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be pretty rad. The next scene, the band plays Old Lang Syne
Okay. Yeah.
instrumental. which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Then they do it again.
that's appropriately New
They
Year'sy. So
yeah, you got to play that at a New Year's show. They do it again, and that's followed by Billy and Trey playing Corvette Summer, part of
okay,
it.
yeah,
And then the grand finale, Connor. The grand finale is Good Riddance 4 times in a row.
nice. I could have sworn you were gonna say they close with Dirty Rotten Bastards.
Oh yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be funny if like they if that was just for the movie? Like that was the only time they play that song is just for the movie, and like
yeah,
we get like 5 seconds of it in the film or something. You
yeah.
know, that would really fucking. I would be upset. Actually, I would be very upset.
You'd be upset that you weren't there. That's what you'd be upset about.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course. I mean, yeah, that would be why I was upset. That would really pee me o. You know.
yeah. Yeah, sounds like an interesting day for sure. And it'd be really if anyone listening went and would like to share your experience, let us
Yeah.
know. Send us an email or a tweet or just shout out
Uh-oh,
your
Connor,
window.
you cut out for you cut out for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, Connor, when you were talking
That was all
before
you.
and you
That was
kept
all
cutting
you.
out, I didn't actually say anything. It's like you don't know how to do this, do
Well,
you?
no, no, I mean, Connor, the issue is when I cut out for you, it still records me. And when you cut out, it just stops. There's no sound. So to fill the void, I have to acknowledge it, depending on how long the cutout actually is. And this time it cut out for a good like 2 3 seconds. So I was like, oh, I gotta,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. But
you can't have dead air for like the full
I
5 seconds.
my connection seems like really stable, you know. So
Interesting, interesting.
I'm not
Anyways,
really sure what it is, but
interesting. Anyways, go on.
um I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I was saying.
That is interesting. Um, yeah. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about some of the cast on New Year's Rev. Connor. We got Fred Armisen. What kind of character do you think he's going to be playing? If you could guess.
Probably, you know, just like a little dweeb. Um
Yeah.
Probably the guy who's like coordinating the event. I think he's like he's probably
Oh, like
like
the show promoter or something.
yes, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think he's like a little dweeby fucking loser who's like he's gonna be all stressed out and high strung, like, oh, everything has to be going smoothly, but
Yeah.
everything's going wrong, and I'm freaking out, and I'm Fred Armisen. He's gonna be fucking annoying. Yeah,
Totally. I can see that.
yeah,
I mean, because in Ordinary World, he plays like an old friend of Billy's. They used to be in a band together. So I could
yeah,
see that kind of maybe they could be maybe he could be like the club organizer, but maybe he was an old friend of Billy's too. I could see that kind of being a thing.
yeah.
Um, Jenna Fisher, also known as Pam from The Office.
That's right. And then whatever the actress's name for Angela from The Office.
Yes,
Connor,
Angela Kinsey.
did you listen to the clip from that podcast I sent you where they were discussing their movie roles?
You sent me that a while ago, right? Or was that?
I don't know. I've this is like a week ago, maybe. I don't
Rem-
even.
Remind me.
Um. Well, I mean, like they're starting to do like promotion for the movie and stuff, and
Yeah,
they are on a podcast together. They're like the Office ladies or something,
yeah.
and they were just talking about what their characters are like in the movie, um,
Oh
and what they
yeah,
do and shit.
yeah. I think I watched that.
I don't even really remember it that well. Their moms,
Yeah, I think at least Jenna Fisher is playing somebody's mom.
yeah.
Which
So
I mean, That's pretty cool. She ends up being a mom in The Office, so it's a nice progression there.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's cool on a whole bunch of accounts because obviously Billy is a longtime Office fan. He's a
Yeah, he
big
is.
Office fan, so I kind of think it's no surprise that they were tapped, to do this together. It sounds like it's just like a project that you know that's bringing together a lot of things that like the members of Green Day, I guess, are into. Or
Yeah, yeah, and also, I mean, Billy Joe has been on that podcast. I think he did like a little bit on the Office Ladies podcast a while ago. And Jenna Fisher, though, is married to the director Lee Kirk.
oh, is
So
that right?
yeah, so there's all kinds of connection there. And if you remember Ordinary World, there was Kevin from The Office was in that briefly.
Connor, I barely remember Ordinary Worlds.
Yeah,
There's only a few distinct scenes I can tell you about it. So that'd be a good. Obviously, we'll be rewatching that at some
we
point.
will be
But
covered. We will dedicate an entire episode to that movie.
maybe we might want to talk about that before we get to Insomniac. This could all just be part of the content algorithm, elongated.
Yeah, we'll fit
post-Dookie
everything.
discussion.
We'll be starting Insomniac in about 2 years.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
All right, and then the other big one that I wanted to cover was kind of Bobby Lee. Do you know who Bobby Lee is?
I didn't cut out this time. I was just waiting for you to say something else.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Do you want to look him up? Because I think you'll recognize him.
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Just search Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee. Yeah.
From Mad TV.
Yeah.
We watched the hell out of Mad TV.
But we sure did. Man. So Bobby Lee, what's up with Bobby Lee?
Well, he's in the movie. He's I don't know what kind of role do you think he's playing?
Are you still on this? You're so fucking stupid. This is what we're doing right now. Yeah. What do I think Bobby Lee is? I don't fucking know, man.
Well, what's your guess, dude?
I don't. What's your guess? Why am I put on the spot for all this dumbass shit? What is your guess? What do you have to contribute to this conversation?
I think he is. I don't know. What was his fit? What kind of roles did he play on Mad TV?
You don't remember? We watched the shit out of that show, man. Yeah,
That was a long time ago, buddy.
Not so fun when you're put on the spot, is it?
That was a long time ago. You have such an attitude today.
Yeah, no, you're goddamn right.
Such an attitude today.
No, you're right. I do. And there's something else more important in Green Day news you're not even going to bring this up, are you? And you're sitting there talking about Bobby Lee. You didn't see that Billy was featured on
Bobby Lee.
You didn't see that Billy was featured on this new song?
Yes, that's Connor. That's on the agenda for. I was gonna bring that up.
How long is this agenda? We got to start talking about. It's 40 fucking minutes of this, Connor.
This is all relevant. This is anyways, Connor, yes. You can have the floor. Okay.
No, it's really funny to me. It is. It's really funny because you were texting me before we started this. You're like, it's going to be a quick one today.
It is.
It's going to be a quick one today. We're just going to do the Dookie ranking. It's going to be a quick one. This is not a quick one.
How long do you think the ranking's going to take?
That's up to you, apparently. That's all up to you. How long is it going to take to talk about Bobby Lee? Why is it taking this long to talk about Bobby Lee? Yep. Yeah, I'm holding a mirror up to you right now, buddy. I'm holding a mirror up to you.
Well, I don't know. We gotta go. Let's go through all of his roles. Let's see. He was in the very Harold and Kumar Christmas. Did you watch that one?
No,
You missed that one.
well, obviously they go to White Castle, and
They do go to
then
White Castle, yeah, but it's closed. But it's closed because it's Christmas.
oh my god.
All right. I think he's gonna play like a guy who's like a little troublemaker.
Yeah, yep, yeah,
You know,
totally.
that's why. And I think he's gonna like really piss off Fred Armisen's character.
Yeah, those
Fred
are really
Armisen's gonna be
great
like
guesses.
that guy again,
Yep.
Bobby.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's gonna happen. That'll be kind of funny.
That should be their dynamic. Totally.
Yeah. And then Billy Joe's gonna be like, "Relax, Fred. It's okay.
Yeah, just
Just
chill out, dude.
Yeah." Anyways, Connor, yes, there is a new song that Billy Joe Armstrong is featured on, but it's actually really not a new song. It's a cover of a song. Did you listen to it?
I did, as a
Okay.
matter of fact.
Frankie and the Studs, Venus, featuring Billy Joe Armstrong. Connor, since you brought this up, what is your take on this track?
Well, it is cool. It's I can see why Billy has a feature on this, because this could so easily have been a cover he did for No Fun Mondays.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And as I was listening to it, I kept waiting for Billy to come in singing.
I know, me too.
This feature here, it's actually a little different. And
yeah.
Once I realized what was happening, I was like, you can really tell it's him playing.
You can, yeah. You definitely can.
So it's cool. Yeah, it seems like Billy's playing guitar on this track, and I've never heard of this band before. He shared it on his story, so I was like, okay, let's see what the deal is with this. And yeah, I don't know. It just looks like it's very up his alley. Like, this is the exact kind of thing that
that
Billy would be featuring on. Yeah,
classic power pop jam. Definitely something he would do for No Fun Mondays. I mean, Connor, I would be remiss to say, like, we know this song primarily from the Venus
commercials.
Like the Venus Razor, female razor commercials.
That's
I'm
right.
your Venus, I'm your fire. That is how I know this song.
Yeah,
this was featured in a very, very big ad campaign.
That's how almost all millennials will know this song. So exactly. It does kind of tie back into to that old chestnut.
Yeah. That old chestnut. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I think the cover is really fun and great. And it made me, I looking this up. It's originally by a band called Shocking Blue.
Now that is a good band name.
That is a good band name. Yes, much better than New Year's Rev or New Year's Revolution. Shocking Blue. But popularized by the band Bananarama in 1986. So there's a long history of this being covered. Yeah, good stuff. I do kind of wish, like, I kind of wish Billy did some backing vocals at least or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, no,
it's still fun. It's still fun.
I agree. But man, how cool does it have to be that band and be like, yeah, Billy fucking Joe featured on our track. We didn't feature on a Green Day track. Billy Joe featured on our track.
Oh yeah, sweet. that's a real honor. I mean, that's any band in the scene would be like, that's a badge of honor,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, very cool. Frankie and the Studs. I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe I'll listen to that full album. I don't know. Life's good.
Yeah.
Anyways, Connor, we are finally here at the 45-minute mark almost. I think that's about time we can start talking about we can get to the main crux of the episode.
Are you sure? Because I feel like I got it all out of my system now.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I calmed down.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry that I took that out on you, man.
Yeah, it's okay. No, it's. I mean, I don't. I honestly, I'm happy because it's good podcasting. Is what I'm a big podcast listener, Connor. I love when the hosts fight on the podcast. That's
Yeah.
like my favorite thing. So I'm happy to do it.
I get what you mean. You know what bothers me is when the hosts always agree. You ever listen to a podcast where it feels like the co-host is just always like, yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
know that we agree about a lot of shit, Connor, because when we're
We
talking
do.
about Green Day songs as two huge Green Day fans, most of the time we're gonna be like, I like
Yeah.
that Green Day song.
Totally.
I like Green Day, and
That's
I'm
what we
like,
sound like for most of the episodes.
So I get that it's on some level, it's going to sound like we're always kind of backing each other up.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, listeners, this is not an act, okay? And Connor and I, we have plenty of disagreements, and some of them are even Green Day related.
Yes, and I mean it will show as we get further into their discography. That's very true. Early days, I think by and large, we are on the same page. I mean, I think just throughout the entirety, we're on the same page in a lot of ways. But you will notice that there is the gap will grow as we go on. So
yeah, I think that's fair.
that'll be fun. I'm sure we'll have some very passionate discussions. Anyways, today we are ranking all of the tracks on Dookie, both of us, which is something. Yeah, we discussed the possibility of doing this. We didn't do this for Kerplunk or for 39 Smooth. Maybe one day we'll go back and do that. But and who knows if this is a good success, a great success, maybe we'll do this for every record to come. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But Connor, this was your idea. You're like, yeah, let's do a full Dookie ranking episode.
That's not quite how I put it.
Yeah, a whole episode dedicated to ranking Dookie. Connor, let me in on a little bit of your thought process behind wanting to do this today.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened, Connor. We already discussed that I'm off today, which that means that I had in my mind, I had 2 Saturdays in a row, which is great. And usually what I do on a Saturday, I'll have a few cheeky drinks to myself. That's how I like to unwind. And I'll play some video games. I'll do whatever. But that's what I like to do. So so last night I thought that we were going to be having our retrospective discussion today. So I was like, I got to listen to this album front to back. Dedicated headphone listen, not doing anything else. I'm not even taking a walk. I sat down on the fucking couch, put on these bad boys, cracked open a 9.9% beer, and launched myself into this musical journey. I'm taking notes. I'm recording my thoughts as I'm singing along the whole time. So I had a really great experience listening to it. I guess that's why I felt so ready to discuss the album, but I'm not going to harp on it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I think that's why I was in that headspace. Yeah. But as I was going through it, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, because by the time I was wrapping up with the album, I was 2, pretty strong beers in.
Yeah,
and it felt like I was like, I want to try it. I want to. And I think the obvious disclaimer is that whatever list we give here, something like this cannot be set in stone.
No.
And it's not just a hard and fast like, oh, I think this song is literally better or worse than this other song given where it falls on the list. That is not what this is trying to capture, because I think that is if that is what you're setting out to do, I think that you kind of set yourself up to fail, because that's just not
Yeah.
how I experience art. It's not how I think about music. It doesn't work that way. But instead, it's more of like on this recent uh sort of like era of listening through Dookie together for the podcast, and given all of our deep dives and our discussions track by track, and then like listening through the album, how do I feel like things kind of like land and shake out in terms of like I guess my appreciation for the songs. Hopefully that makes sense, or like that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to get across there is clear.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I'm in total agreement with you. That I think that's kind of why, like, I don't know, I'm not like resistant to ranking the songs, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing definitive, I guess, about my ranking. Because even during this process, I'm just like, it's there's songs that like, oh, like that were my favorite songs on Dookie that are like just low on the list now, because it's my thoughts have changed and they will continue to change, and just, as I change as a person, things will shift around a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I feel like if we do this now and we come back 5 years from now and do it, it'll be a totally different game.
Yeah. Sometimes even just 5 days from
Some
now.
Yes, maybe we'll just rank Dookie every week.
Yeah. And then we'll
Just
never have to move on
Yeah,
from we'll never have to do the
yeah.
retrospective.
I
You
think
know?
that's a good idea. That's a good way to get out of doing any work. Um, yeah. So Connor, I'm in agreement with you. This is fun, but yeah, it's not. I think a lot of people who post like these lists online, or they do videos and definitive ranking. I don't subscribe to that model,
Yeah.
to that method. This is for fun and in appreciation of all these songs.
Yeah.
So how do you want to start this? Do you want to start us off? Do you want to go song by song? All
Absolutely.
like we'll just do one v1 kind of.
Yes. Yeah, we'll do worst to best.
Yep.
One will and we'll alternate, of course.
Okay.
If we want to say a little bit about why or
Yeah,
whatever, we could
definitely.
share it. And if we don't give a fuck, then we'll keep going. Um, I think the only other thing I want to mention as kind of like a precursor to this, or maybe even a disclaimer, is, yeah, and sort of on like this idea of what ranking this even means. Also, there was no like score sheet involved, or this is something, at least for myself, it was done quickly, just as I was
Yeah.
listening to the album, and shortly after I finished it. And so yeah, I guess I won't keep yapping about it. Let's talk about
Yeah.
the fucking
Well, I
list.
mean, for me, I did this when I woke up today.
Yeah.
So, well, I kind of like woke up, had a cup of coffee whilst mulling it all over, and then
Yeah.
I put together the list.
Did you find it difficult? Was it hard to do?
Yes, actually, yeah, it was. It was hard. It, the worst half of the list was hard. The
Mm,
the the best half was easier. I guess. If
Yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. I hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Anyways, like we can jump into it.
Yes. Okay. Then you want me to start? I'll start.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got 15 songs to
Yeah.
talk about, I think.
15 songs. 15 songs.
And because we discussed 15 songs, so it's got to be 15 songs.
Yeah, I mean there's one song in the mix obviously where you're like, does this count?
Right.
Does this take up a spot? But I think it
Yeah.
does.
All right. Well, I agree. Look at us agreeing. It is funny because I have a feeling that a lot of our list probably might not agree, but I have a
Yeah.
feeling that the beginning of our list will agree.
Yeah.
I put for number 15 All by Myself.
Yeah, I did too.
Yep.
All by Myself is number 15. I mean, it's just, if anybody puts All by Myself like somewhere else in the mix, like I don't know, I would respect it, but I'd be very curious to know how what their thought process was, and if they're just being a little jokester.
Right.
Like, I mean, maybe this song means something to somebody on a different level than I could imagine. I mean, that's certainly possible, but uh, I mean, this is, and we talked about this last week, Connor.
Yeah.
This is not even on the track list
Exactly.
of the original record. Like, if you buy a CD of Dookie, it's not on there. There's 14 tracks on Dookie.
That's right.
The only reason that it's like it's on the track list now is because of streaming. It's a secret. This is a secret song. It's not meant to really be in the discussion. So of course it comes in last. It's
Yeah.
not built for anything else. Um, that's how I feel. I mean, if other listeners want to say, "Oh, this is better than fucking Emily is Sleepless" or something, like you can make that argument if you want, but like it's not, to me. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see it. So
Yeah. Where are you coming from? I don't know.
yeah, exactly. I'd be very curious to find out the rationale. I really would
Right.
be.
Yeah. If it was a legitimate take, I would listen to your case all day. If
Yeah.
you're just taking the piss and you want to dance around for attention, don't talk to me. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, let's really get into this shit,
All
Connor.
right. Yeah.
I don't think anyone's gonna bat an eye at All by Myself listed as number 15, quote unquote, worst song on Dookie. This next one I'm gonna say, I think it's gonna make some people upset.
I'm kind of scared.
Number 14, I put Welcome to Paradise.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why.
Yes, Connor, please explain to me. That's a big one. That's a
Yeah.
big one.
Yep.
Major single.
I know. I'll tell you why. Obviously, fantastic song. And like we talked about, Dookie has the definitive version of Welcome to Paradise. 100%. I am not saying that the Kerplunk version is better. We already talked about that. But I kind of feel like I've always felt like, because it's on Kerplunk, when I'm listening through Dookie, it's sometimes I just get this feeling of like I've been here before.
Yeah.
And for as definitive and superior of a version of this song as it is, being on the album, it loses a lot of like a lot of like novelty in my mind as I'm listening to the album, and I feel like I appreciate the unique tracks on Dookie more than what Welcome to Paradise has to offer, even though what Welcome to Paradise is doing on Dookie is fucking killer. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. I do get it. I don't know. To me, it feels like almost the reverse. Like I do feel like Welcome to Paradise is like a brand new. It feels like a brand new song on Dookie to me. Even though I mean it's very obviously it's the same song, very similar, just recorded differently, very minor changes in the performance. But yeah, I get it. It can kind of feel like a repeat. It's not something truly originally crafted for Dookie. That's that's true. Yeah, that's a surprise. We'll see. Maybe we'll get some feedback on that one.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, all right, so I can get into my number 14 now.
Yeah, please do.
All right. So I really did. I struggled with this, and I think there's going to be a lot of things you disagree with on my list here. And I surprised myself with this list because a lot of the time I am into the Green Day deep cuts rather than the singles. I think that differs a little bit on for this record for me.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, number 14 for me is In the End. I really do love that song. It's very and even I found a new appreciation for it this time around, and with experiencing it live. But to me, it's just kind of one of the more inconsequential tracks. And like we kind of mentioned, it kind of sets up the grand finale with FOD. And so it just kept on popping into my head that this was maybe the least favorite for me.
Yeah.
Barring all by myself.
Yeah. I completely get that, and I'm hot on your heels, Connor, because I have In the End as 13.
Okay. All right, cool.
So essentially, I agree in that, like, in terms of like unique on the track list songs, I would also have In the End last. I just also docked a lot of points from Welcome to Paradise and put it dead last. But
yeah, that makes sense.
But I feel the same way about In the End. And it is funny because, similarly, I also feel like my appreciation for it grew a lot. And so it's kind of funny that even though I like the song more that like at any other point in my time as a Green Day listener, it doesn't really do anything to have it move in like the list in that regard. I'm still like, yeah, I just feel like In the End fills the role that it needs to.
Yeah.
To kind of just like create that transition and to essentially serve as almost like a runway ramp for FOD. That's what it kind of feels like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it serves that purpose well, it does. Okay, cool. God, fuck. I don't even know if this is a tough. I don't know why.
And you wrote all this down, by the way, right? You're like going through a list.
It's
like you're not...
yeah. I have a list written. Yeah. Right
okay. Yeah. Because it's funny because it seems like you don't even want to read it. Like that's what it's like.
This is painful for me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just my stream of consciousness. This is how I feel right now in this moment. And I know that if I woke up tomorrow, this could be different, Connor.
Totally.
But for me, number 13 is today, Connor. It's Having a Blast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love this song. I think it's really a cool and unique, powerful song Green Day does in their discography, and but there's just so much good stuff on Dookie that is outweighing it for me right now. And like I can't praise this song enough, but yeah, I don't know. It also feels kind of like an oddball on I'm happy it's on Dookie and happy it exists, but Yeah, today it's just not up there for me.
Yeah, Connor, I am surprised at actually how much our lists are aligning, because it's the same, except that Welcome to Paradise is throwing things off right now. So I don't know if
Okay.
that's
Wow.
where that's going to shift, but I also have Having a Blast after In the End. So
Wow.
what, 50,
What's
40?
what are your thoughts on that? Because I do feel like it's a very powerful song. Like it's important, but I don't know. It's there's so many other heavy hitters that I feel like it's just hard to. It doesn't make it up there.
Yeah, that's how I mean, I'm pretty much right there with you too, where it's nothing against Having a Blast, and that's going to be like the obvious uh like condition for all these songs, where it's like, okay, it's not that it's bad, it's not that it's bad, like,
I know
but
we can even just stop saying like none
yeah.
of these songs are bad.
But I I guess I feel like it just sort of, it gets like caught up in the mix, a little bit. I do think that there's like plenty to love about it, and um I I think what it is actually, like, as we're kind of talking about it, it kind of is like the yin yang, like opposite sort of thing of In the End,
Uh-huh.
where like In the End, like it's not the closer, it's the song before the closer, and Having a Blast, it's like it's not the opener, it's the song after
Yeah.
the opener. I just
Uh-huh.
think that the given the album flow of Dookie, and like how fantastically it opens and closes, that like I think it's kind of like a casualty of just how the album is structured, that those songs, at least for us, kind of they get buried a little bit
Yeah.
given
Hmm.
what's around it.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah, you're right. Um, yeah. What well said. I agree. And yeah, our lists are similar. But Connor, I think this is maybe a big point where that shifts. Because what is this 12 or
Yeah, you know what? I
11?
didn't number that. I feel like I should
Whatever. Who
number them.
cares? Who
Yeah,
cares?
okay.
But next up, Connor, and this is tough for me, but again, it's a bit of an oddball on the record, and so and I love it, but I don't think I have the appreciation for it that you do. I have Pulling Teeth next.
Yeah, yep, okay. So our lists are going to be different. Yep.
Yeah, I know that's one of your favorite. Might be one of your all time favorite Green Day songs. I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, for me, as much as I love it, and as much as I do, I hold it up there as like a power pop gem that Billy's written. I think it's just a really great example of just how great his songwriting is, even in the early days. This is like a power pop classic.
Hmm.
To me, it just again, it's just surrounded by all timers. So
Yeah. No, totally.
and the fucking cowboy hat ruined it for me.
I
Just
know. Yeah, how could it not? That was a dark time. Um, yeah, I'll have more to say on that. That is not
yeah,
the
sure,
next song on my list,
sure.
but I completely get where you're coming from. I hear you on that. So we're on the song, what, Just Following Having a Blast? You did the song
Yeah,
after having. Okay,
yeah.
so for me, that's Chump.
Okay, yeah,
And um I don't know if I have a lot to offer, other than I think Chump's a great song, but the other songs on the record I just like more than it.
yeah,
I don't know if I have much to add. But I do really love the I don't know. I guess like like selfish, jealous, kind of like seething frustration, like it's, this This song kind of reminds me of you ever see that picture on the internet where it's like this, it's just this one panel comic, and it's like this normal guy's just walking by whistling, having a good day, and then like there's this tiny, little fucking loser who's like, look at that fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking?
Yeah, I do.
That's what Chump is. I think Chump
Yeah.
like completely nails this feeling of like the narrator is upset, but the narrator also fucking sucks, and they
Totally.
know it,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I love that about Chump, and I love the kind of like the falling apart instrumental sort of like breakdown at the end of that. It's like there's a lot to love about Chump, but not enough to catapult it over anything else for me. So
Totally.
that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'll get to Trump soon, but I hear you there. Next up for me, I have Sassafras Roots.
Mm-hmm.
Which a song I love. At a point it was maybe in my top 3 on the record. Honestly, at a point in my life, um, again, it was awesome to hear live. It was so fucking cool. I I love this song. It's a quintessential slacker Green Day song. It really is. Um, but this is where I gotta place it. This is where I gotta place it.
Yep. Connor, I also have Sassafras Roots next.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, I think the thing that kind of held it back for me was, it's built around this very repetitive sort of nature. And that's like the whole point. I think the
Yeah.
song is meant to literally feel like you're just wasting time. And I like that meta aspect about it. I really do think that there's like an intentional repetitiveness to it, something that Billy's going to come back to on a
Yeah.
song like Redundant.
Yes, totally.
So I really dig that, but it's like then at the same time, it feels like there just isn't like, it doesn't really expand into anything else. So it's like I love what the song is doing, but like the nature of it requires that it doesn't grow into anything else. And so I think that is like where it loses me in terms of like, yeah, these other Dookie songs are way better. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. And I mean, I think it's worth saying like this album was crafted as like a whole. Like these songs are not in competition with each other by like
totally.
nature. They're all just kind of like filling out different parts of this piece of like this piece of art. And so it's like they're not all meant to be high points, you know. I think we kind of lose that in the streaming era where it's like, oh, everything can be a hit single. Like this is like they crafted this, even though it's silly and slacker and whatever. Like it's crafted to be a timeless record, and so it's not like Sassafras Roots does what it needs to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great point for sure. It's like this was an album that was made to be an album.
Yeah.
Yeah, full stop.
Exactly. Yeah. So next up, Connor, this is where I have Chump.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
We're pretty fucking close. This is really funny to me, actually.
We are pretty close, yeah. So this is where I have Chump, and I agree with everything you said about it. I love what it is. I have been that Chump before. I've been that guy in the meme. And it's an ugly kind of feeling to put down on paper. But I love that it exists. It's a really fun song. I love that it leads into Longview. That breakdown at the end is like just an awesome moment in Green Day's discography. I love that they kind of had the cojones to do that on their first major label release. It's really, really rad. But it also kind of feels like it doesn't feel like a full song almost. Like it kind of feels like a lead into Dookie sometimes. I mean to Longview.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just it won't ever be one of my favorites, but you know, again, I'm happy it exists and it serves its purpose really well. So
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel that. And kind of funny because after Sassafras Roots, for me, I have Longview next.
wow,
Yeah.
that's very funny.
Yeah. That's another one. Like, I don't know if that's going to like ruffle any feathers or like what.
It might,
I don't know where we're at with numbers. Now I'm just going down the list. But,
yeah,
Longview is, just about like in the middle in terms of my list. And that really is like accurate to how I feel about it. Longview for me is one of those singles that like I just feel like it got so big that sometimes it feels like it buckles under its own weight. It's
totally,
and like not to get ahead of myself here, but like for me personally, it's a very similar feeling to like how I think about Wake Me Up When September Ends, which is a song I love. And you might remember like when we saw them play it at a City Field for the Saviors tour, that was actually one of the highlight moments for me, the live
yeah,
performance. I really felt like the New York City emotional energy, like that is a song that is appropriately humongous. And yet it's like with that song, with Longview, Green Day, sometimes I think, they it's like they have too much success. They
yeah,
literally are one of the biggest rock bands of all time. Like, especially, and we're talking about like in the modern age, there are few contemporary rock acts that are in the same conversation as them in terms
yeah,
of like what they have offered to like, the cultural conversation of rock music.
absolutely,
And Longview is very much a part of that humongous contribution.
yep,
And when I'm listening to the album Dookie front to back, man, it feels great to sing along to Longview. But as a song, man, sometimes it feels like it drags because I have been beaten over the head with this song for as long as I've been listening to Green Day.
totally,
So
totally.
that's where it is.
And Connor, I am right there with you because after Trump, I have Longview.
Yes. Okay.
I have listed Longview right after Trump. Yeah, I agree, and I kind of want to. I have an instinct within me that's like I want to be kind of I want to trigger some people by saying Longview is one of the most overrated Green Day songs
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
discography, and I do believe that. I think
Yeah.
it's a great song, but yeah, it's a massive single. It's like it's one of the biggest songs of the 90s really, like one of the biggest rock songs, alternative rock songs of the 90s. It's when you compare it to the vastness of Green Day's discography, like it just doesn't compare to the heights they can reach to, for me, uh for the normies out there, this is the end all be all, but not me. So that's my instinct, being a contrarian. I can't help that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great song. It deserves all the accolades. I think it's like it deserves its success. I'm so happy that a song like this was able to be such a massive single, a career changing single for them, because it is weird.
Hmm.
It's not like a normal alt rock or punk rock song. It's a weird track. Like it's got jazz influences. It's like I'm so happy it exists in the way it does. But to me, it's just like I feel like Green Day is just more than this. So
Yeah.
So yeah, we're on the same page there.
Okay. Well, let's see if we keep it going, because after Longview, I put Having a Blast.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's what I have next.
Nice.
Yeah, oh, wait a minute. No, I don't. Did I put down Having a Blast twice? Because I already said Having a Blast.
Oh,
didn't I? After In the End, I'm looking at my list.
Well, we talked about me. I forget if it was if you were just talking about where, because I ranked it after In the End. So maybe you did put it down twice. Because I think we were agreeing.
Let me count this. I literally did write this down when I was drunk last night. Hold on.
Well, that might be the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wait. Did I not put a song on here? Am I missing a song? Hold on a fucking second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Uh-oh. What song? I have Having a Blast on my list twice, and that means I'm missing a song.
Yeah.
What did I not put on here?
We can figure it out by the end of this if you want.
Well,
insert it.
Yeah, but now it feels like it's messing with the sanctity of the list.
There's no sanctity to this list.
And okay, hold on. I have to, Connor, I need a minute. Can we come back in a minute? I need a minute.
Okay.
I need a minute. I need a minute.
Well, let's take a minute. Let's take a
1
minute.
1 minute.
I don't want to make a joke of this, but 1 fucking minute.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a piss.
All right, you do that. I'm ready to jump back in when you are.
Are you ready, Ray?
I am.
Okay. All right, and welcome back. We are back in action now. Connor, did you figure out what the heck was going on?
Yes, I did.
All right,
So I got it all sorted out.
sweet.
I want to set the record straight. Where I have having a blast, I did say it already, and it's correct where I put it. So I did have it on my list twice, which is why I just like read it after Longview. Like that was my knee jerk. Like, oh yeah. But when I made this list, I did it on my phone on my notes app. And for some of it, I kind of just like wrote down the names and then had to like delete them, rearrange them. You know what I mean? And so this was just an oversight. And there was a song that I forgot to put on the list. It's hilarious that I forgot
Okay,
to put it on the list. I will tell you what it is when we get to it.
okay.
And here's where we're at. So far in my list, worst to best, I had All by Myself, Welcome to Paradise, In the End, Having a Blast, Chump, Sassafras Fruits, Longview. And now, She. I have She next.
Wow.
Yeah. I do appreciate this song more. I really liked what we were talking about, like when you were saying that this is an Amanda song, and that like Billy it was inspired by like I think it was like feminist poetry and like this and the lyrics that I didn't know or that I had misheard, those like small tweaks such as I'm taking heat just for you to I'm taking heed just for you. Every time I sing along to that song now, or a sullen riot penetrating through her mind, right? Like every time I
Yeah.
sing along to that song now, not only, obviously is it feels good to be able to feel like I'm hitting a line, but it does add to that kind of like incendiary like punk feminist message that this song
Yeah.
is that propels this song. And so yeah, I really dig it. I love the fucking bass, obviously, but that's where it falls for me.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That. I mean, it's a bit of a surprise, but not really. I guess it makes sense to me that that's where you'd put it. Because I mean, you're pretty anti-feminist in
Yeah,
your
right,
politics. So,
exactly. That's why.
so
That's why.
just joking, everybody.
So you must have she at number one because like you just love women, right?
Oh,
Like
well, I'm known to, I'm known
yeah.
to be a big fan of them, of those little guys,
Yeah.
little guys who call women. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Anyways, where am I? Okay, I just did a long view. So after that, I have Emily Asleep is next.
Yep. Gotcha.
Which is a great Mike Dirnt penned track. We had a great discussion about this. I have, I mean, this is still a song that I feel in my bones. About kind of like growing up and not being on the same page as an old friend, and not feeling that connection anymore. And I think everybody has kind of felt that way at different times in their life, and this is a great kind of encapsulation of that feeling. But yeah, this is where I would place that.
Mm-hmm. Connor, wouldn't you know it? I have a many a sleepless next.
Wow. Okay.
Which makes me feel like you probably have she next. I think we probably just switched those around. So let's see. But yeah, I have a many a sleepless after she. Yeah, same deal. I think it's a great song. I love what it's about. Yeah, great lines, great parts. I don't have anything else to add though.
Yeah, Connor, next up for me, it's another, it's not she, but it is another single. This might be the most controversial. I mean, besides Longview, Connor. Next up, I have When I Come Around.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to come around. Um, which I mean, this song is like, God, what a fucking powerhouse!
Mm-hmm.
It's like a what a great accomplishment for Green Day. It's just there's something about this song that is so special and inherently 90s, but I still think that only Billy Joe could have written this song. It just captures something that's really special about the '90s. Obviously, we it's about three guys walking around in cool sweaters.
Yes. Yep.
But more than that, uh, and yeah, to me, it's just like a testament to how great the songs on Dookie are for me. This it's painful to put that it's in the top half, but it's like still very low. I think on the totem pole for most people. And it doesn't have the same issues as Longview has. Like it's very popular, but it doesn't feel like it's overplayed to me.
Yeah.
Even though it is, doesn't have that issue. But this is still where I would rank it.
Yep. Yeah, I totally get that. And I'll come back to it. Connor, I think you're going to be surprised to hear the song that I have next is Pulling Teeth.
Wow.
And yeah, this is a song that I love, and I've kind of, within our friendship as Green Day fans, I've kind of like notoriously loved Pulling Teeth. It's been like my favorite deep cut. I feel like I have like a very like Pulling Teeth feels like an old friend to me. Like it's really one of the first, if not like the first Green Day deep cut I can remember really loving. And I talked a lot about how, you know, like when I was first getting into Green Day, like I always gravitated towards singles, and that's not weird. That's pretty normal as you get into a band. But like, Green Day really was a band that was like, pardon the pun, but instrumental in, pushing me to like listen a little more deeply and a little more thoughtfully, for the first time, and so I think, like, in a lot of ways, Pulling Teeth sort of represents almost like that kind of like deep cut awakening where it's like, oh shit, like as I'm listening through the discography, it's like all these songs that aren't getting mainstream radio play and that people aren't talking about and having these big discussions about. Sometimes those songs can actually be the ones that resonate with you more.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds obvious because that's just what you discover as you grow and as you learn. But like when you're a kid and you find that out, it's big. And
Yeah.
Pulling Teeth is like very much that song for me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Connor. Yeah, that's yeah, well said. Yeah, that is a surprise to me. But I think it's just, again, I mean, a testament to how many great songs are on this record. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So this kind of I this placement I thought would be more controversial, but you kind of stole my thunder by having this like in last place or second to last place with Welcome to Paradise. So I've got Welcome to Paradise after When I Come Around. I think it's high up. I think it's just such a cool fucking song, and that bridge just takes me for a ride every single time. Mike doesn't just it's just such a fucking amazing performance from Mike, uh, and everyone's firing on all cylinders. This is like maximum Green Day. In some ways, it feels like the kind of thesis statement for the band or for the record as a whole. Like I mean, I remember when I went to see them play Irving Plaza in 2012. they opened up with this, and it was just like, man, this is like instantly one of the best moments of my entire life.
Yeah.
And I'll always remember that. And so it's a special song. But yeah, in the context of the record, I think it's high, but not on top for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you, man. So I think actually that means we're about to get into the top 5. Is that right? Right?
Top five. Yep, we are in the top. Yeah, yeah. Here we are.
Our personal top 5, and there's
Yeah,
some big tracks that neither of us have said.
there
So,
are. Yeah.
um, so actually, are actually, as I'm looking at it, I'm realizing that 4 of our top 5 are going to be the same, if not in a different order. And there's
Yeah,
only
you're right.
one song each
Yeah,
we kind of have switched out here. So,
that's pretty funny.
well, here we go. So, number 5 for me is Basket Case.
Wow. Okay.
And Connor, hilariously, Basket Case is a song that I forgot to have on the ranking.
Oh
How
my
did I forget
fucking
to have?
God.
How did I leave off Basket Case?
That's hilarious.
I put Having a Blast on here twice, and I just didn't put down Basket Case.
Yeah, I mean, is this what is it a case where it's like too big? It just it's like you just didn't even think of it because it's like it's that big.
I think so, a little bit. I think I just like assumed I
Yeah,
already put it on the list
yeah,
somehow
yeah,
because why? How could I not? And then I, whatever. So Connor, I really needed that 1 minute earlier because then I had to figure out where do I put and I'm glad it was a song like Basket Case I forgot because
yeah.
Basket Case was never going to be anywhere else on this list than the top 5. So I
Totally.
didn't pass it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Um but then it's like fuck, where does it go? And we were just saying how maybe it was a little surprising where I have Pulling Teeth. Well, it's cuz like I'm going down the list and suddenly I'm like pitting Basket Case against I'm like Basket Case above She, definitely. Basket Case above And Many a Sleepus, definitely. And then I'm like Basket Case above Pulling Teeth. What is basically my lifelong favorite deep cut from
yeah.
Dookie. And I had to say, yeah, how
Mhm.
could I put I love Pulling Teeth,
Yeah,
but how could I put Pulling Teeth above Basket Case?
yeah.
I'm not crazy.
No, you Connor, these are the tough decisions we have to make. You're absolutely in the right. I completely understand. I mean, yeah, that's a tough one. But I get it.
Yeah. So, anyways, Basket Case, well deserved in the top 5. It is definitely another one of those. We kind of talked about this. It sort of quintessentially is like the Green Day single. It is
Yeah,
perhaps the most Green Day single there's ever been.
yeah.
Um,
That's certainly there's a very strong argument for that.
right. And obviously the amazing thing about Green Day is there is a real argument to be made for several other songs too. But
Sure.
Basket Case has to be considered, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a song that I've never gotten tired of. And there's just so many small moments within Basket Case that no matter how many times I hear them, unlike Longview, I don't ever get sick of it. It always makes
Yeah.
me appreciate it more. Like when Trey comes in, with those when he just like starts in with the every time I will air drum to that part when Trey
Yeah.
starts drumming, and it always just
It's
feels
hard.
like singularly perfect.
It's hard not to. You're absolutely well said. Connor, my number 5 is FOD.
Yeah,
I love this song. I think it's a great grand finale. there's no other song that could do this. I love that it feels like it was crafted to be a closer. Like this kind of feels. Words I Might Have Ate is kind of it's a cool closer, and it does feel like it could have been intentional. But this like really feels like their first like big. Oh, this is the closing track. This is
Yeah.
the big closing track. Um, and yeah, they knock it out of the park. The dynamics, the rage. We're kind of finally getting into angry Green Day here.
Mhm.
I have so many great memories, or a good handful of memories, seeing this song live. That some you recall, some you don't. Uh, love this song, but it's number 5 for me.
Yeah. Well, as has sort of been our pattern here, Connor, I'm right next to you. FOD is number 4 for me.
All right.
I'll definitely echo fantastic closer. And, sort of, I think a little bit on that like line of thinking before of like how like pulling teeth kind of introduced deep cuts to me in a way. I think FOD, has a big part in kind of making us consider closers or be more
Yeah,
aware of like the power of that final song on an album. Like,
totally.
um, so yeah, I don't know. It's awesome. It I don't know. Dookie just culminates in this final moment and goes out with a whisper and a bang at the same
Yes,
time.
yes, it really does. Yeah. Um, so this is kind of where my list gets. I feel like it gets weird here. It feels okay. Next up, I have Coming Clean.
Yeah.
Um, which is yeah, it's like one of my. It's like I guess my favorite or deep cut on the record. Maybe depending on what you would call a deep cut. It's I mean, it's kind of been it's an important song, I think, for people growing up. It certainly was for me. I mean, you can interpret it in many different ways. It's um, I think it's a very brave song for Billy to put out at this point in his life on his first major label debut. There's like a fearlessness about this that I really appreciate. Also, hearing this live again, this was it's really just yeah, it's a special song. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's important to a lot of people. It's like an integral part of Green Day. I think being a proud individual and proud of who you like. Once you've discovered who you are, being proud of who that is. So I think this is kind of the first step in that journey that Green Day takes over their career. Yeah, I love it for that, and it's just a great song. So,
Yeah.
but after this, I feel like I don't know. I surprised myself a little bit, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, hell yeah. However much you surprised yourself, I think really one of the most surprising things is we started this discussion being like, oh man, we don't always agree with it. Connor,
Yeah,
this is a pretty similar list here. And
it's pretty similar. It is.
There's some important differences for sure, but it's just really fascinating, like for me as your co-host and lifelong friend and business partner,
Don't forget
to
that.
to be like, wow, just how overall I do think that like it's not that we both love Green Day, but like we both love Green Day for the same reasons, and I think
Yeah,
that really shows here as we're like picking these songs. That's cool.
very very true. You're right.
Okay. So what? I'm on number 3.
Number 3.
All right, top 3. Number 3, I have Burnout.
Wow.
I yeah, I mean, I think I think Burnout is like very easily one of the best Green Day album openers. It's like we've had a lot to say about Dookie, kind of having this feeling of being overrated a bit, and I think that that's true. Like in terms of like the fan base as a whole, blah blah blah. But one thing that I feel like you just gotta give to Dookie, I I don't know. Show me a Green Day album that opens better than Dookie, and you know what? You can. I believe that everyone has their own answer to
This
that.
is another thing, Connor, where there is an
But
argument
God,
to be
I
made,
know.
but
Yeah, but I mean, but anyways, so all I'm trying to say is, goddamn, every time Dookie starts, every time you hit play on this fucking album, uh, it just launches into itself in this undeniable way. And I just think it has, there is so much power everywhere throughout the song on Burnout. There are so many things that you can identify about it that are like singularly perfect and remarkable. But the one thing I just want to mention here, the fact that the opening line is "I declare I don't care no more," I think it's like the distillation of Dookie and Green Day at this moments in their career.
definitely.
It could not be more perfect than what it is. I fucking love this song.
Yeah, 100%, Connor, and that's why I have Burnout listed as number 3 as well.
Hell yeah.
Connor, I'm gonna go bold and say, not only may this be the best Green Day opener, but I really kind of feel like it's one of the best album openers of all time. Uh, Sorry, folks, and the who are turning their noses at me because I respect rock and roll canon, but this to me, this is one of the best album openers I've ever heard, and I don't think that's going to change. This is uh, just brilliant. This sets the stage for such a fucking fun ride, and you instantly know you're in for you instantly know that you're in for something really really special, and they turn it up to 11 right away with Trey's amazing drum solo. So I mean, it does it really doesn't get better, much better than this. It's uh, singular moment in Green Day's discography. It's always one that I'm never going to be mad to hear the song live.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that they pull this one out quite a bit. It's just sensational.
Yeah.
I love it to death. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Man. Okay, number 2, this is going to be a big difference for us.
Yeah.
If you've been listening closely, then you know that there's something that I haven't said yet. And number 2 is When I Come Around.
Wow.
I just found myself like I've always loved this single, and I mentioned this as we were discussing it on our When I Come Around episode, where like this is one of the few Green Day songs that I can say I liked before I liked Green Day. Before I knew it was Green Day, this was a song that they were playing on the radio, and I liked it. And so it was like so cool to like get into Green Day through American Idiot and then be like, oh shit. Like all of a sudden you're like, they did this song, it's like you grew up when we did. It kind of like it all comes back around, and you realize that like, yeah, you're getting into Green Day for the first time, but you've kind of been listening to Green Day already, and you didn't even realize it.
They've been there, yeah.
And When I Come Around, like, not only is that like a really really cool memory and a really fun moment of like rediscovery for me, but like even listening through Dookie today, no song on Dookie sounds like When I Come Around. It is it is really unique in like
Yeah.
And what's funny about it is like, not to get all caught up in it and shit, but like it's unique in terms of what Dookie sounds like, and yet we've also identified that it kind of undeniably carries this sort of like 90s alt rock radio sound.
Yeah.
And it's like they thread this needle of incorporating this big popular sound of the time, into their own Green Day sound to get When I Come Around, and yet it doesn't ever sound performative or pandering or like they're jumping on the bandwagon. I think When I Come Around, because that's the thing. It's like it doesn't sound like Green Day is chasing that sound. It sounds like they're part of the bands that created it.
Yes.
There's a reason why this sound is what it is, and why like that era of music like carries this distinction. And When I Come Around is one of those songs that made the sound. Like it created that like cultural idea. And yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things like, punk purists are always going to give Green Day shit for their hyper success and their pop influences and song structure and all of that. And yet the thing that I find like most compelling and interesting about Green Day sometimes is like in a song like When I Come Around, it's like it's because Green Day's not afraid to make a pop song that makes me feel like they're punk as fuck.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I just love When I Come Around.
And the real ones know that that's been the case the entire time. That's you. I think you can really separate the pure at heart from the fakers with that argument of Green Day getting too poppy or being too like. This is a song that was always in them, but this was the moment. It came out of the perfect moment for them and also culturally because you're right, it fits into this 90s zeitgeist, but also it's not they're not writing it to fill that void. It's just they are part of that scene. They're the pioneers. They are one of the pioneers of this of the 90s alt rock movement, but at the same time they're more than that. So absolutely. Connor, for me, number 2, this is a big one. This is Basket Case. Basket Case is my number 2.
Yeah.
Connor, this is it's a generational song. We talked about how it covers mental health in a way that isn't always openly discussed. Another kind of brave thing Green Day did in a funny, kind of irreverent way. Very relatable to a lot of people, catchy as hell. Just as far as the melody goes and the chord progression, like there's something about Basket Case to me that's like scientifically like pleasing to the ears. Like I feel like this chord progression and melody, the combination of these two things, it's just like it's just like pleasing chemically to your brain. Like it's I mean, there's a reason that this chord progression is in a bunch of different songs. I don't think it's done as well as in Basket Case, but this is a revelation, and a song that could only be done by Green Day. And I feel similarly like to When I Come Around, but this is a bit bigger, I think, where this is like it can be played over and over again, and I would never ever get sick of this song. I I've heard the song live so many times, and I hope I get to hear it many more times. This is it's one of their best. It's one of the best songs of the '90s. One of Green Day's best in general. Yeah, I love it. I will always love it. Yeah, that's it.
Totally. You know what you made me think of? Tell me if I'm right or if I'm off base here. But you were saying how like Basket Case, you feel like it's like scientifically like perfect or
Yeah.
pleasing for you. Is that one of the songs that Rivers has referenced as like a perfect rock song? Because like Rivers is like very famously
Yeah,
like chasing like the perfect
he is.
song, and he does this whole like algorithm and spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
Basket Case one of the songs that he's referenced? Do you remember that?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it is actually. I think
Yeah,
it is. I think this is on his list. Yeah. Up there, he's got Nirvana classics and other like. He locked himself into a room for 3 years trying to perfect this, and Billy Joe just did it one day.
yeah.
He's- yeah. So I think there's something to, and then I mean the chord progression it repeats like there's like What's My Age Again has the same chord progression. It's like the history of rock and roll. There's songs that have this same or is very similar chord progression. It's just like I think it's something that humans gravitate towards.
Hmm.
But this particular iteration of it, I think, is like something very special.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Rivers was right, but he could never write this song.
No, he.
I mean,
I think after he isolate like he did great, such a good job
oh
at
yeah,
identifying those songs, and then
yeah.
he locked himself in his room for 3 years, and he came out with Pacific Daydream. So I don't know what happened. I don't know, like.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I am a Pacific Daydream apologist. I love
Totally.
that record,
That's a
but
great that's a great record, yeah.
if you're
Um,
trying to make Basket Case and you come out with Pacific Daydream, I think you lost the plot. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, there's some missing variable in that
Yeah.
equation.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about our respective number one songs on Dookie. Connor, this was a lot of fun ranking
This
the
was a
songs.
blast. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah. I was having a blast so much with this, I put it on my list.
You put it on twice. Yeah, that says everything.
Yeah. Well, you may have figured it out, process of elimination here, but for myself, number one is Coming Clean.
Wow.
And that was a big surprise for me, but it's also the only song that I was 100% certain about as being number one. And I felt that way since we had our discussion on it going through the podcast. And we've talked about how as we go through track by track, sometimes our appreciation or our esteem of a song will change, and even even at the beginning, it was like we were talking about In the End. I was like, yeah, I've never liked In the End more than I do now, but that was number 13.
Yeah.
It didn't matter that I like it more now, but the change, the difference in how I felt about Coming Clean before we got to it in our album discussion and after was like a world of difference. It felt like I don't know, was kind of like reintroduced to it in this really humongous way. And it wasn't solely our discussion. Like as the way I've been doing this is like, as we're discussing the album, that's like the Green Day album I have in rotation now for months. Like, of course. So as I've been listening to it more and more, and as we discussed it, it really changed for me. And I think that's why I felt like I had to have it at number one, because out of these top five, I've always loved Basket Case and FOD and Burnout and When I Come Around. Those were like the sure things, because they're just as, but they're at that crossroads of being as big and as perfect as they are. But Coming Clean kind of had this edge of feeling like it has this new electricity to me, for as I'm listening to it now. And it's that moment that we identified in our discussion on that episode of just Billy singing 17 and Coming Clean for the first time. I finally figured out myself for the first time. It's like, not to me, like for me personally, not only is that like the high point of the song itself, but it is the crescendo of the entire record. Everything that comes after that moment on Dookie, it does not reach that high watermark in my mind as a listener. And the fact that like this song can contain such a powerful moment, even against like the almost scientific perfection of songs like Basket Case, it's like just the fact that Coming Clean can reach higher than any other song on this and create that moment. It's amazing. It's something that you can't set out to do. It's something that has to like reveal itself or be created organically as you make art. You can't sit down and say, I'm going to write the best song on my album, or I'm going to write a song that is like so revealing and vulnerable. It's like you can't do that artificially. And I just feel like Coming Clean is like, there's like this purity of it. There's this purity of expression that I can't believe they were able to record and capture for all time. Yeah. It's like, it feels like you shouldn't even like be allowed to like, press play again and rewind it. Like it's like there's a feeling that is imprinted on this song, and it's something you could only hope to capture if you yourself make art in any form. And I feel like it's here on Coming Clean, so I had to put it at number 1.
That was well said. I totally understand that. I think you're right, and it's another song that I feel like it couldn't be on another Green Day record. I don't think it does feel like lightning in a bottle. And it's like I said, it's a very special song for a lot of people. But it's like it's as hidden of a gem as you can get on one of the top selling albums of the 90s,
Right.
But yeah, it's fantastic. It's a triumph for Green Day. Well said.
Thanks,
Connor.
buddy.
My number 1, you guessed it correctly earlier, when you were joking. My number 1 is She. The single, non-single. Now, and this is something that I think I maybe had known it subconsciously earlier, but during our discussion, I think is when I really came to the realization that this is my favorite song on the record.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're joking about who's the bigger feminist here,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which is that's a fun thing for guys to joke about,
yeah,
of course. But
hilarious.
Now I love that I love Billy Joe's inspiration for this song. I love it. It is a feminist anthem. But it's also something that I have always just like very, very much related to this song in terms of feelings of like self-actualization and kind of breaking out of the mold that has been set for you. and those feelings of frustration. And so it's just a song that I feel on a very like visceral level, I guess, and I always have. Um, and yeah, I'm not a she. I don't really particularly care what gender you ascribe to me, but regardless, I've always really felt a connection to this song. And yeah, as the years go by, it feels, feels relevant to, even in like dealing with being stuck in a capitalistic society, and surrounded by these structures that just oppress you. And so I think that's all in there. And it's for me, it's definitely felt like something. It's like a very empowering song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always like resonated deeply within me. And yeah, this kind of go around, this discussion with it that we had really cemented that for me. And it's always a song that I feel like Billy Joe really, it's up there with Letterbomb and like passionate performances. Like
Mm-hmm.
for me too, it just feels like there's something that's unlocked that just like really comes out with this song. And that scream is just fun. It's a killer moment of catharsis, on the record. That is it's all this built up energy just all coming out. So to me, when I was doing this list, that was the obvious one.
Yeah.
That was the easiest. This was the easiest ranking for me. It was number one, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Same. Well, look at us. Green Dude's #1 songs on Dookie, She and Coming Clean. Let it not be said that we are not allies. Because
Well, I was gonna say, yeah. What's this was not intentional, by the way.
yeah,
This was
that's just who we are.
That's just who we are.
What can you say? What can you say? No, yeah, really good stuff. I totally hear you too on like that sentiment of, yeah, like kind of just feeling controlled or influenced by those larger systems. That line, what are you locked up in a world that's been planned out for you, right? Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's however you take it, it's like it's all there, like that's in there
Exactly.
for sure. And
Yep.
so
Yep.
yeah, I totally get that feeling too. I think great choice for #1. Yeah.
Thanks. You as well. Yeah. That was a blast. Again, I had a blast. I got a feeling we're gonna keep on doing this.
Yeah. Whether you write in and tell us to or not, it's happening.
Yeah,
So.
it's happening. It's happening. Damn, that was fun. Nice and short episode for you guys.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Over 2 hours.
See, this was a longer discussion than you were anticipating. We did not have to bullshit for 45 minutes. Whatever.
Oopsie.
I know. Whatever.
Connor, I love you, buddy. Thanks for doing this with me.
I love you too, dude. Despite however it might have sounded earlier in the episode, we're just fucking around.
We're just joshing around, guys. Don't worry.
They say not to mix business with pleasure, but Connor, it's always a pleasure doing business with you.
Hey, you as well, my friend. Anything you want to mention before we wrap this up?
You know what I do want to mention, Connor, is because we went through and it did take us like a full hour to do our album ranking.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to come clean a little bit, and I got to admit it did need its own episode.
Oh,
it did need its own. This could not have been part of the retrospective because that's going to be a whole other discussion. So
yes, no, absolutely, Connor. I thank you for admitting it, and I also admit too that we didn't need to stretch for 45 minutes at the beginning of the episode.
We both learned something. It's fine.
We did. Yeah, that's the whole. We're living and learning, and and then we will change and adapt to our current understanding of the situation. So
There you
that's
have
how we
it.
do things around here at Green Dudes.
Well, I don't have anything
Folks,
more to add than that.
thanks. Thank you for listening, folks. If you want to send in your ranking of Dookie to us, I would love to see that. And maybe if you want to explain yourself, however much you want to. I would love to see how you guys feel.
Yeah, why the fuck did you put All by Myself at number 8? Explain
Yes,
yourself.
please tell us why that was above 5 other Dookie songs.
Explain yourself.
I'd be very very interested, especially if you have all by myself in the conversation above some of the songs. That would be good to know. I just want to get into your head a little bit, pick your brain. But yeah, so if you want to, you can write in. You can either email us at greendudespod@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on social media at greendudespod on both Twitter and Instagram. Um, and while you're at it, if you want to leave us a nice review and a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify, please do so. That would be greatly appreciated. And next week, we're continuing our celebration of Dookie. Whether that's the retrospective or something else, don't worry. We're getting to Insomniac. We'll get there. But no need to rush. We got to enjoy the view a little bit. Smell the roses. Smell the Dookie.
That's right. And enjoy the long view. Yep.
And enjoy the long view. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But most importantly, folks, until next time,
Stay punk.
All right, and this is the just a little bit of bonus content you get for watching the video. We want to thank you especially for watching us, sticking by us.
Yes, whoever you are.
Whoever you are, just know that we appreciate you. We do. All right, Connor. Let's say goodbye to the stream.
See ya.